It's not just patients who are affected by bomb strikes or by tank shells. There's also people who have been displaced from their homes. You can hear a bomb that feels like it's 50 to 100 meters away. You feel that the hospital shakes, that the window might break. And then you get a rush of people 10 minutes later who have been injured or killed by this. There were no beds in the hospital available a lot of the time, so we were treating people on the floor. And sometimes there was not enough supplies to be able to do things that we would normally do. So it was really a very difficult circumstance. There's specifically a surgeon who has stayed there the entire time. His name is Dr. Khalid. He told us the last 3 days were a nightmare, was horrible for everybody there. The Israeli military forced all the patients who were there, which was more than 200 patients, and there was 25 medical staff. They forced them into one building. They all had to take 65 bed-bound people from one building to another building using one elevator. And so it was really a miserable process. He talked about how the missile had hit one of the wards and killed somebody instantly. He talked about how the electricity had been cut off and 2 ICU patients had automatically died because they were on a breathing machine, and so they suffocated to death. One of the operating room nurses was walking and was shot by a sniper and became a patient. The nurse who's supposed to be treating the patients became a patient. I think if it wasn't for the Palestinian doctors who were there, the Gaza doctors, I think it would have been much harder. I think they were very helpful in teaching us how to respond to this situation and not get caught in the tragedy and the depression that you will feel once you see kids being killed and you see families being ripped apart and people being injured. I remember just being in my room and hearing a knock on my door, and it's one of the ICU nurses saying, "Come with us, we're gonna all have a family dinner." And they bring you to a room, and all it is, it's just bread and beans and some dates, but they create this environment that give you that energy. They show you how to be resilient and how to persevere. I feel terrible. I feel guilty. I wish I never left. I wish I was still with them. There's something called survivor's guilt, obviously, when you are able to leave so easily from a place, and you know that the people there don't have the same options, despite themselves being in danger. They stayed there and they saved hundreds of lives. There are hundreds of people in Gaza still alive because of these people. They have done an incredible and miraculous job. They're absolute heroes. It's really, really embarrassing for the entire world to allow another hospital in Gaza to be made dysfunctional. To me, it's a failure of the international community, and definitely in the United States, that we can't even make a statement to say, please protect hospitals, don't kill doctors or nurses, keep them safe. I think that it's an indication of why this has gone on so long and why the people in Gaza are suffering, and they seem to be suffering alone.